This is a follow-up video for the video I did about Agreeganism and chatting with Chat GPT about it. I want to make a couple more distinctions, not extinctions. Although, if we do continue the path we're on, extinction is possible, so that is still very valid. But the distinction I want to make is that one of the differences between Agreeganism and veganism is that Agreeganism is against specifically the factory farm industry. That's the problem that we're facing in the world. So in the follow-up question I asked what will happen if humans continue to use animal agricultures and eat meat. It has a lot of the similar things it said before: environmental degradation, public health risks with the health problems and antibiotic resistant bacteria, and the viruses that we've been experiencing in the past few years. Some of them make it into the news, other ones that don't. The mutation of the bird flu destroying populations of animals as well as some humans who get involved with it. The swine flu, all aspects of animal agriculture and that do jump to humans and cause significant and serious problems. And then what it comes down to is recognizing animals as sentient beings. Vegans will say it's against your ethics to exploit an animal, while an agreegan would say if you have a symbiotic relationship with that animal, then you could justify it. But if you're just going to a factory farm where the animal suffers its entire life, then that's not sustainable and that's not ethical. It's a major ethical atrocity. So that's a really important distinction that I wanted to make is that the main issue is the modern industrial animal agriculture system. That's what the problem is. On the left, you have that mentality of that, which is how can we get meat to cost as low as possible and produce as much of it as well, while externalizing costs and destroying the environment. That's what's on the left. It's the meat-eating mentality. And on the right is the plant-based mentality, which is, all right, I have the awareness and the compassion to understand the state of the world as it is today. I've seen with my own eyes what's on the left and what the animal agriculture industry does not want to tell or show what's going on. And because of that, an individual can make a conscious effort and choice to not perpetuate that problem. Don't give animal agriculture your money, because this is what they spend it on is the destruction. While a plant-based diet can be done in a symbiotic relationship with the earth. I will acknowledge that it is possible to have farm animals on a humane farm, and it's possible to live in symbiotic relationship with animals. That is true. That's why agreeganism is not veganism. Agreeganism acknowledges that there are gray areas. But what the main problem is if people are going to ignorantly buy animal agriculture food from death factories of torture and suffering, and animals living an entire life in a cage in awful conditions, never knowing some of the most basic concepts that we take for granted, and never getting to experience love or connection even with their own mothers, who don't get to know their children in these factory farms for longer than a couple days before they're separated and plugged into a machine that's designed to fatten them up and turn them into something that can be consumed so they can have an early death. That's the system that Agreegans oppose deeply. And one of the distinctions that make an Agreegan has slightly different choices than a vegan.